Join Joe, John, and Jim as they discuss the biggest stories in the world of sports.
You put them all together, it makes a nice package, right?
Get ready
for passionate and intelligent conversation about the biggest issues and personalities in sports.
It's unscripted.
Somehow got mono. God knows who he was making out with.
Some people call him dirty. I like to call him creative.
It's unfiltered.
I'm gonna need another beer soon.
And I said, well, hold, you're making my point, right? My thoughts are, I'm going to call my therapist. Actually, I'm going to do.
What's up, Bean Apple? Your premium show to catch the Boston-New York rivalry. That's what we're about each and every week. So getting different perspectives from the greatest rivalry in sports. Boston, New York, never fails. So unfortunately, none of our teams are in the playoffs, but we're going to break down each game, talk about players you need to keep an eye on, what we think the outcomes are going to be, and definitely remind you guys to join into the Yahoo Pick'em League. There's instructions on the Facebook Bean Apple page to join up on there, compete against us, and we'll see who the winner is, who gets the most right. It's a very interesting thing they did with the playoffs, adding confidence points that you have to assign to each team in order to kind of break up the monotony there. So it's going to be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it, so please join. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. We're growing pretty good, so please help us keep that momentum going as we start climbing up, hopefully making a little bit of noise in the sports world. So I'm Joe, here with John and Jim again as we break it down. So let's, before we get into the games, how you guys doing? How's the week going?
Long.
Doing good.
Very, very long after having like 10 days off. It's hard to, it's like taking that vacation and then you go back, except you took a vacation, you ate like a fat slob, you didn't really do much. Just the holidays and it's cold out. So now, but tomorrow's Friday. To me, the best day of the week. Friday's always the best day of the week.
Yeah. Thursday or Friday Eve isn't bad because you're so close, but
yeah.
you know, and we get to
I think this week flew by really. Now we got back-to-back triple headers, so that's a nice weekend gift to have, right? Look forward to it.
Yeah, my wife's gonna be so excited.
Oh yeah,
all day, full weekend football. Oh man,
there's another game.
My wife's working Sunday. I was like, oh honey, that's too bad.
I feel for you.
Oh, what am I gonna do without you?
We were gonna go nowhere. We were gonna go to the living room and watch football.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when you watch the game, do what I do. Tell them you're doing research, right? We're researching for the show. This doesn't work. It looks like we're having fun, but it's not. I mean, this is a lot going on up here. It's a lot going on up here during the game, you know.
This is definitely work. So
yeah, absolutely.
Watching how bad the Patriots suck or how the Giants can't score, you know, it's just
come on now.
It's not
that season's over, Joseph. The season's over.
Yeah. So
trust me.
Now it's time to start looking forward to the next go round, right? So.
It's weird the Pats not being there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know what to do. What have you guys been doing forever, Joe? Especially you. Like what do you do this time? Like take up crocheting when the playoffs start? Do you knit like a Jets stocking cap for like your cat or something? I mean, what do you do?
Oh come on! I would definitely knit before I bought a cat. Are you kidding me?
No, knit a cap for the cat.
Yeah. Now, you usually drink a lot. You watch everybody else celebrate, and you just kind of wallow in your own misery. It's kind of it's been a decade-long tradition now. So
maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did you guys see Trevor Lawrence officially
declared for the Jacksonville Jags?
He signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday when he left Clemson. Like,
Good for him. Good for him.
We were 2 games away. 2 games away. It was right there. It was right there. Just disaster.
But like everything else with the Jets,
disaster.
Doesn't happen.
Right.
Never
I'm telling you. Murphy's Law needs to be renamed. Something to do with the Jets.
The Jets.
What
the
exactly,
Jets
but but whatever can go wrong will go wrong.
No doubt.
You know,
No doubt.
But yeah, let's talk about things that are going to go right this week. So starting off with the Colts and the Bills, which should be a pretty exciting game. I think I'm excited to see what this is. I feel like the Colts are they're a very quiet team. You haven't heard very much about, but still won 11-5. So yeah, you think about it from that perspective. They're 11-5 team playing a 13-3 team.
Yep.
But quiet with Phillip Rivers at the helm there. But what do you think we're gonna see? Vintage Phillip Rivers? Just gonna be like where he finally breaks through and has a nice deep playoff run.
Right. I mean, could it be? I mean, I'm not a Rivers fan, right? I don't know if you are, John, but it would be nice for him, right? If this is his final ride here and maybe he's going to retire after the season, can he get a deep run? Can he make it a couple of rounds and maybe make it to the Super Bowl? The defense is playing well, but I don't think they beat Buffalo. I think Buffalo is just too tough. I mean, I get Diggs and Beasley are questionable.
Beasley is now out.
He is out. I thought they said he's got a knee, but I thought he was practicing.
Nope.
He was day to day. He's slated to be out now.
He's showing out.
So that's tough. And Diggs has one of those obliques. I'm not sure where that is in your body, but
it's right to the left of the fladuba.
I thought it was. I got to check an X-ray and see what that looks like. But
I should have been a doctor.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing is though, there's fans, right? They're gonna have fans in the stands.
Yes.
They're taking tests in the parking lot, and actually, they said they were charging $63 a surcharge to help cover the cost of the tests. So. But man, if I'm a Bills fan and I'm up there and I'm in the Bills Mafia, definitely, I'm going. If I
take my money,
yeah, whatever. I mean, $63, I can get in and watch a playoff game at home.
Like 3 beers. I mean, it's like
you play around, you're paying $60. No doubt, no doubt.
3 beers and a quarter of a pretzel.
Yeah,
with no salt.
Yeah. I mean, so the Buffalo's given 6.5. I think Buffalo wins the game. I do. I think it'll be a close game. I think it would be interesting if Indy ended up pulling it out. I think Buffalo has a team now that's going to be around for a couple of years, right? They're going to be tough for a little while now. Mm-hmm. But if Rivers ended up somehow pulling it out, which I don't think he will, I wouldn't be upset. But I gotta say, I think Buffalo's taking it.
I agree as well. Now, the only disclaimer I'm going to throw in there, if Diggs doesn't play and Indy goes to that running game, and I'll tell you what, the way my man Jay Taylor's been running the ball, I mean, the guy has just come on like a gangbuster, the second half of the season and really is taking control of that running back by committee in Indy. If Diggs is out, it would not surprise me if Indy won. I mean, it truly wouldn't, because now who you're throwing the ball to? Brown's been in and out. Their running game? I mean, they haven't had the greatest running game this year. They really haven't. So Buffalo's special. No. And if you start looking at Indy's offense, it's been pretty balanced. I mean, Phillip Rivers threw for almost 4,200 yards. Taylor ran for 1,100, and I think as a team as a whole. Did they run for 2,000, or am I thinking of someone else? Rushing 1,996 yards. So talk about a
let's give them 2,000.
Yeah. Let's give them 2,000. So they ran. They passed for 4+. They ran for almost 2. They can control the ball and they can control the tempo. I mean, even with Diggs playing, I don't think this is a very easy game. Except Joe, like you said, actually Jim. So I've never really been a Rivers fan. I've never liked him or disliked him.
Right.
Because the guy can't do anything in the playoffs. I mean, he just can't do anything in the playoffs. So, and he's always had a running game. He's always had a running game with the old San Diego Chargers. So it's not like he's never had a balanced attack there. I see Buffalo winning this. I won't say easy, but I don't think they're ever going to be worried. That game where we always talk about I wasn't scared. I'm not scared of Buffalo in this. Unless Diggs doesn't play, because I'm telling you, Indy's ball control, they're going to have a hard time. I think a hard time stopping Indy's run.
I'd really be surprised if Diggs doesn't play. He came over here for a new start and to play on a team to go far. I think no matter what, he's going to be in there to some degree. He's not going to be on the sideline. He'll be in there giving everything he's got. Load him up with Advil and get on the field.
Yeah, and his 75% is probably someone else's 100%. So you're right. Yep. But I think it's going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks. I just don't think that. I think he's going to be playing from behind for a while.
Yeah, probably one score game for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the over-under on this is a 51-point game. So they're expecting it to be relatively
scoring a little
high.
bit of points, yeah.
Yep. I mean, Bills at home, that's a tough place to play. I don't know what the weather's looking like in Buffalo for this game, but you've got Indy that plays in a dome. If it's cold and windy and Phillip Rivers' shot put style of throwing, that could be really tough. And like you said, then if that's the case, I mean, Taylor, you point out that, 1,169 yards and very quiet again. And it took him until like week 9, week 10 before he had even a 90-yard game. Well, he had a 100-yard game in week 2. And then completely shut down until the 22nd of November. So nothing. I mean, a 12-yard, 3 games there, 12 yards, 27 yards, 22 yards. He had a 3-game stretch there, of just over 50 yards. That's crazy. Right. And still ended up with almost, pushing 1,200 yards. So really came on at the end. And if that's what they're going to have to rely on. But both defenses here are no joke. I think they're both going to be hard to deal with. And if losing Beasley hurts, that hurts that offense a lot because that is Josh Allen's safety valve. So
Allen's going to have to tuck and run. He's going to have to tuck and run a lot. Yep. He's going to have to take it on himself too. They're going to have to go play action. He's going to have to get some yardage for them to do anything. I mean, Rivers can't do it. And like Zai says there, Rivers always chokes in the playoffs, right? He never gets it done. It's been his calling card. And So what do you think for this game? I mean, I think Buffalo. I mean, could it be 27-20, 27-24, something like that? 27-24 is right at the over/under. I'm taking Buffalo, but I mean, Rivers can't run. Rivers isn't scrambling. He's not doing anything. And maybe you take out Diggs and Hilton. If they take both of those receivers out, it could be even tighter. But I'm taking Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins the game.
Me too. I think a 27-21 type game, 27-24 type game. I mean, Indy's D is good. I mean, let's not forget that. Good. They have a very good D. Like you said, Joe, 2 very good defenses. And honestly, two pretty damn good offenses. I mean, we just talked about it, 2,000 yards rushing for Indy. I think it's going to be fairly close because of the running game. What do you do in the playoffs? You run the ball. As long as they don't get behind like 17-0 right off, and it relies on Rivers, then yes. But like Shay said, Bills all day long, 31-20. I think we see that score if Buffalo jumps out to a quick lead. Agreed. But I don't see – now, again, if Diggs doesn't play, I would say – I'd probably still give the edge to Buffalo a little bit, but you really got to look out. But again, Indy, I mean, I don't know.
So it's currently the forecast. I guess that's for the game 36 degrees and partly cloudy. So it's going to be cold, but it looks like weather shouldn't be much of a factor. We'll see, but
Indy plays in a dome, right? They're a dome team.
They are
dome team coming out to Buffalo in January. That's not easy.
Yeah. This is a hard one for me to pick right off the bat, right? Because there's nothing about the Bills' running game that excites me outside of Josh Allen, and like you said, that might be the key. Without Beasley, dependent on, like you said, what Diggs has got. If he can't go 100%, if he can't go 75%, that's gonna take away a huge piece of that offense. Going to put a lot on Josh Allen. He's going to have to run like crazy. Phillip Rivers. He's got Taylor back there, but that defensive line is tough. I'm going to go Bills, but it's going to be tight, probably a 21-20 type of game, something like that. Some scoring, but I don't think it's going to be through the roof. These defenses are tight, so I think 21-20 Bills.
Yeah, I think taking the points with Indy is probably a good bet.
Yeah.
6.5. If it stays there, I think the difference will be less than that. I mean, they're saying here, I know Shaney's saying 11, Zai's saying 10 points. I don't know. I think it'll be. I think it might be under a touchdown, 27-24, something like that.
And like I said, I think this is an easy one for people to overlook, just because the Colts have been so quiet.
Yeah,
you haven't been paying any attention to them,
so
this is a team that could do it. This next game, though, this is the one I got my eye on. Rams at Seattle. Man, do I need a Rams victory here. They screwed me over once. I need them to come back and knock Seattle out of the playoffs, get us that lowest draft pick available right now. But it's going to be hard. No doubt with this one, with Jared Goff, he's questionable to play. Or actually, no, now he's out. Never mind.
He's saying out on some and questionable on others. I don't know which way it is, but yeah, and it's his right thumb anyway. It's his throwing hand. I mean, you could put a glove on or something, but that's going to affect you. And
right. So that really puts the Rams at a disadvantage. But at the same time, what's his name? Warford, right?
Wolford?
Warford.
Yeah.
He actually had a pretty good game last week. Go back to that real quick. Open that up. In the Arizona win, which it was a disgusting 18-7 game, Wolford 22 for 38. He had 231 yards and an interception. He didn't do anything that floored you there, but he had 56 yards rushing. So he could do it on the ground, which gives him a nice advantage, I think.
And it wasn't a playoff game either. So
it wasn't. So that adds a little more stress, but you can't take away that defense. That Rams defense is still very good. Seattle's defense, it shows a lot of flashes. Jamal Adams is saying he's going to play through his injury, so that's not something I wanted to see. But and we've seen Russell Wilson up and down.
Yep.
He could be lights out or he could be knocked out. I mean, it's just he can go in so many directions. This game is very, very tough, but the weapons are no doubt on the offensive side for Seattle and the defensive side for the Rams. And it is going to be one of those games that one side is going to take over. And it could be like Ohio State, Clemson, where Ohio State's defense just smothered Trevor Lawrence. It could be the same with this Rams defense. They could just absolutely smother Seattle and not give them an inch. And they might be able to do enough defensively. I don't know, though.
I don't see the Rams doing much. I mean, especially if Goff doesn't play. I know Cam Akers is back, so we'll see how that Rams running game is. But offensively, the Rams, I mean, they played a very depleted Arizona team last weekend with no Kyler Murray, so it's not like there was much stress for him, you know what I mean? But so now they're going to go to Seattle. Seattle's 7-1 at home. And it's kind of funny because everyone talks about Russell Wilson blew his chances to be an MVP. I mean, the guy threw 40 touchdowns and 13 interceptions, and still he's not even considered as an MVP candidate right now.
No,
I mean that's a damn good season. I mean it just is. So I think at home I can't see Seattle losing this one, especially with Goff out. Thank you. The Jets even beat the Rams. I mean, let's face it, the Rams are in a little bit of disarray right now. No Goff, no quarterback there. I mean, the guy was he had a LinkedIn account as a grocery store manager or something, whatever the hell he was doing. I don't know. But
that's a feel-good story right there.
Yeah,
it is. It's great for him, and I'm happy for him. But unfortunately, his name isn't Kurt Warner. So
that's what I was about to say. This could be the second coming.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, who knows? But I can't see it. You know, Seattle's won their last 4 or 5. I know they lost last week, but it was really no big deal. Who'd they lose to last week?
No, they beat the 49ers.
They're on a 4-game winning streak. Sorry, they're on a 4-game winning streak.
They lost to the G-Men.
Yeah. Shani, I think I have to agree with you there, man. If not Seattle scoring more points. I'm looking at a blowout in this game. Rams D is going to be on the field way too much, and the Rams aren't going to be able to keep up with them. They're going to have to play behind. They're going to go one-dimensional, and they're just going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Actually, I'm in agreement. I think the same thing. I think 4.5 isn't enough. In Seattle, Goff, question mark. Yes, no, maybe banged up. I don't know, but what are Woods and Cup and Higbee going to do with the backup? Is it the greatest show on turf 2.0? I don't think so. With the new kid in there. No, I think Seattle takes the game at home. Like we said, you've seen what Wilson could do, whether he tucks and runs or he'll make plays. I mean, winners find a way to win, and he'll find a way to win a game. And Seattle at home, no doubt. And 28-10, something like that. Yeah, I could see that easy. 4 touchdowns, they get 10, 13 points. I don't think they're doing much more than that. I don't even think this is going to be a close game, really.
Nope.
No. But there's some good games this weekend. I don't see this one being one of them.
Oh. Nope. I think we're giving Russell Wilson too much.
Okay.
So in the 2 games that he's played, he hasn't gone. Did he break 250?
Yeah, but this is when he shows up, right? This is like now you turn it up. Now you're on the big stage, and
no,
winners.
He has not broken 250 against the Rams. He's got 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions this year against them. He's lost one of those games to the Rams. So they won 20-9 in their first meeting, or in their last meeting, and they lost 23-16 in their first meeting. So this is not a team that doesn't know Russell Wilson. This is not a team that the defense is soft on. Like they seem to know what Russell Wilson can do, and they seem to know how to control Russell Wilson. I don't know if the Rams offense has enough, but I think Russell Wilson is getting a little too much for a team that knows him very well and has taken control of a lot of the games. Because you look at some of those other Seahawks games, especially, and this was in that run where they were scoring, 34, 37, 34. They were putting up points, and then all of a sudden the Rams held them to 16. So, and then they come back with 28, 23. So, they haven't scored more than 20 points against the Rams. So this is an explosive offense. But
right. To me, this is a game where Metcalf has to come out, right? This has to be a coming out party for him. He's got to make the plays, put the team on his back, and get open and make the catches. Him, Lockett, they got to get open. They got to get open for him. I get Donald's on the line there, putting pressure on Wilson, but those guys, he has to rely on them. I mean, this has to be a big game for Metcalf.
So, and the only really thing that that the Rams have going for them, since their quarterback is out, is McVay. Kind of like what you said, Joe. I wasn't going to bring it up, but McVay's 5-2 since he's come in the league against them. 5-2 or 5-3 or something like that, or 6-2 or whatever it is. So he's kind of played Seattle well. I just don't think that a backup quarterback in the playoffs that's only started one game.
Don't talk about
exactly.
Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
God, I feel like a 3-year-old when I hear that because it makes me laugh every time.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has owned Seattle, but Jim, like you said, I can't see it. Okay, they've contained them, and I don't know. I just can't see Seattle losing to a backup quarterback.
No.
I just don't see them being able to put the points up. I don't. Especially last week. I mean, Arizona's D isn't that great either. And they scored, 18 points. And the quarterback really didn't do too much.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle wins at home. Kenny's saying there, too. I mean, it's unfortunate they have no fans, right? When that 12th man is there, it's the hardest
unstoppable,
place to play. Hardest place to play. But and it's Super Bowl champion, I don't think so. I don't think if they got to go through Lambeau, I don't think they beat Green Bay.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
Not a chance in hell. And we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
And I don't think – and Ramsey has been taking pretty good care of Metcalf there. I mean, he had 59 yards in their last meeting and only 28 in their first meeting. So pretty good job of keeping him in check. So they're familiar. There's a lot of familiarities here, and I don't know what happens, but I'm going to say 2017 Rams.
Ooh, Joe, I like that.
The grain. Wow.
I'm going to go with a defensive
I like
pick six.
Huevos.
I'm going to go with a Russell Wilson pick 6 and probably a nice fumble recovery. I think the Rams defense is going to be huge because they know they've got to come to play. And they know they can have success. So they're going to have that confidence against Russell.
Maybe Metcalf was playing the game of don't show them too much.
Yeah,
we're going to see them in the playoffs.
We meet up.
We're going to see them in the playoffs. So I'm not going to show them all my moves.
Yeah.
And I'm saving something for later. So
maybe. I love DK Metcalf. I think he's the best wide receiver in the NFL, and I love watching him just ball out. As much as I want Seattle to lose, he is fun to watch. But Jalen Ramsey on the other side of that is absolutely no joke. So, and he's proven it by shutting him down when Metcalf just goes off on everybody. He's done a pretty good job. So,
so Metcalf over or under 100 yards this week?
Under.
I'm going to say over.
Me too, Jim. Me too. This is, I mean, you called it. He needs a breakout game. And I'll tell you what, he needs a breakout game, and this is going to be it. I'm telling you, Seattle. I don't even care what the weather's going to be like, and I'll tell you what.
Well, it's here. It's going to be raining. You could just bank on that one.
Right, 12 to 14 catches, over 100 yards.
Shaney brought up a very good point. So Russell Wilson's going to make the mistakes, and John the
Wolford,
Arno the garbage man, as they said in Pulp Fiction, is not going to. Of course he's going to.
No, because they're not going to let him. It's going to be a defensive game, and they're going to try and keep it on the ground. You have to limit his. You have to limit his exposure unless they fall behind quick, which that defense should not allow that to happen. And history would show you that is not a tendency to happen. So if the defense could keep it close, they're going to try and control that with Akers. They've got a good running game with Akers, with Brown, and with Henderson. They've got a pretty good chance of controlling the ground game. You still have Robert Woods. You've got Cooper Kupp, and you've got and this is a kid that came. This is a guy that came from a grocery store last week. Now he's got some practice time. He's got a little bit. He's got a little bit of time to get a little more comfortable. But I don't think they're going to let him just do whatever he wants. It's going to be a very controlled game, and it's not like we haven't seen Russell Wilson have multiple interception games. He had a multiple interception game against this team. So, and what would this show be if we all just agree? I mean,
that's right.
True. But I feel like
I agree.
I agree. But I feel like I'm listening to you predict the Jets season of winning 10 or 11 games this year. That's what I kind of thought I was with the quarterback because I've never went to.
That's right. He brings up a good point there. See that? So, right, all you got to do is load up the box and stop Akers and make the kid beat you with his arm. Right?
Adams going to have 16 tackles. Yeah.
He may, or they'll knock him out of the game. But
but
you've got three. You got 3 running backs, so you can just pound that defensive line until it breaks. That's how I would do it.
No, I'm not sold on them too. I mean, they didn't do shit with Akers out. So, and again, because they had to stop throwing the ball, and now they're having to throw the ball with a grocery store manager or whoever he was, and good for him. Hey, shit, I wish I could have made the NFL. From Market Basket up here, but it didn't work out.
He was back there throwing like cans of peanut butter, jars of peanut butter down all the way down the aisle. Like, somebody drops, somebody spills something, he runs over, throws it 5 aisles over to the cashier.
Peyton Manning was in the deli. Cut that meat. Cut that meat. One of my favorite commercials of all time. I hated Peyton Manning growing up. I mean, I hated him. I thought he was a great quarterback, but he did the best friggin' commercials, man.
Oh,
he
still does.
Yeah, he does. He does. All right.
All right. So let's move on.
How about that night game? Tampa Bay and the Giants. Yes. Oh, no, not the Giants.
Oh, nope.
I gotta cross. Let me cross that out. Hold on.
Yeah, cross the Giants.
Scribble that out to the Washington.
I wrote it in last week. To
the Washington Eagles. Man, this
and how
is
this the 8:00 game? This is the primetime game. Come on.
I know.
It's Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady in the playoffs. Of course it is. Tom Brady in the playoffs.
So Tom Brady's
years in a row, right?
Tom Brady's first wild card game in 20 years.
No, that can't be right.
That's what I read.
12 straight postseasons for him, right?
Right, but they've won the AFC East. How how many years in a row?
Like
And
ever.
then
Forever?
no, it shouldn't be 20 years. I thought the year we won our first Super Bowl, we were a wild card team. And a few others.
Challenge.
You'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics, but
So I still don't understand. This game is what, 7.5 points? We
should
talked
be
about last show.
17 and a half. I agree.
Right, we
Jim.
talked about last show. Am I taking Washington with 20? No. How is it 7.5? I don't understand this.
That's
I
true.
mean, could
Lost
something
wild card
crazy
last
happen?
year.
Could something crazy happen in Washington and it's sloppy and wet and Washington pulls off an upset? Can you imagine the money Vegas wins makes on that game at 7.5? Holy cow.
Yeah, so
Everybody's
amazingly,
taking Tampa Bay. Come on.
amazingly, during his time in New England, Brady and the Patriots never made the postseason as a wild card team like the Buccaneers did this year. It's per CBS Sports. Pat's pulpit.
okay,
Tom Brady's
okay.
first playoff game with the Bucks on Saturday is his first wild card game. So, yeah,
What's Carlos said? He lost the wild card against Tennessee last year.
No. No, he wasn't
No.
they weren't a wild
You
card
could-
team.
you-
though.
you
They
won
were
the division
they
last
were
year.
division champ. Yeah. Never
yeah,
mind.
Okay.
yeah. So
I don't follow
this
the
is the first time. Yeah, so it's not that they haven't played in a wild card. This is the first time he's
Right, I
been
gotcha.
a wild card.
Okay, that's what I thought you meant.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. So
Oh,
obviously
okay.
they didn't get a first round bye every single year.
They should have.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure
I have
the,
a feeling-
the NFL was trying every year.
I have a feeling we'll be unanimous on this game.
Well, if we're not, somebody's a moron.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the Phoenix rising
Yeah.
out of the ashes.
The Washington Eagles. I can't wait for them to rename that team in honor of the Eagles this year.
But this game, it's going to be all Tampa. Washington has a great defense. Tom Brady's going to shred them apart, I think. I mean, they're playing what's Brady? 12-1 touchdown to interception ratio like the last 4 games. I mean, he's just throwing the ball like crazy right now.
Yeah.
And it's just this is going to be an onslaught. Whatever team they were playing, and Jim, I know you like to think that the Giants had a chance, but there's just no way in hell. No way in hell here. I mean, they are just on a roll, and they're going to
Evans with his knee, game time decision. You don't know if he's playing.
Yeah, but Brown's
still got-
starting to catch more.
Yep,
I mean,
coming around.
Gronk.
Yep.
I expect a lot of Gronk. I think you're going to see a lot of Gronk.
Go back to his little baby there.
Scotty Miller?
Baby
Go
Gronk.
to his binky. Scotty Miller hasn't gotten much love since Brown came in, so I
That's
don't
right.
know. But you're right.
Yeah, well, did you see the pass that he just jumped in front of the touchdown that was going straight to Scotty Miller, and he dove right in front of him and took it?
right.
Scotty's like, dude, come on. Like,
on,
you don't
man,
have
give me
enough
the ball."
touchdowns? Like,
I
I'm
did
little
see that.
Scotty Miller, man. Help me out.
Yep.
That's Antonio Brown for you.
Hey,
Yep.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was this is I'm excited to see hopefully McLaurin and Gibson play, because those are two extremely young, talented players that don't get enough hype and fanfare being in Washington. You haven't seen them at all. I mean, people know who McLaurin is, but when you see him, and I know, Jim, you've seen him for the last 2 years now, he's so explosive. When he gets that ball, I mean, man, he could cut up defenses. It's absolutely amazing. So it's going to be fun. Hopefully they're good enough to play, because they're going to need them. If they're going to want to stay in this game, Gibson and McLaurin are going to have to go crazy. And that defense is really, really going to have to take it to another level, because this offense is loaded. And even their defense isn't anything. I mean, they built an all-star team around Tom Brady this year. They really did. They gave him every single weapon he could possibly think of, and then they threw Antonio Brown in there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Gronk,
they're just loaded.
it's just amazing. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, how a quarterback could not be set up for success.
Right. They went all in. They went all in.
Right.
It was now or never for them this year, right? I mean, that's the way they built it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I easily see this. But so the question there is, how far do we see the Bucks going? So I don't see them going to the Super Bowl. You guys? I mean, do they beat New Orleans? Do they beat Green Bay?
Well, and first to Shaney's comment, yeah, blitz, because that's how you get Brady kind of dancing around.
Oh yeah.
Now, if he can get past Washington, which we all think they will, chances are they're probably going to end up going to Green Bay, right? Because the seeding wise, I mean, do you see the Bears beating the Saints? I don't. So they're going to end up going to Green Bay. They're going to end up going to Lambeau because they're the 5, right?
Yep.
I just, boy, Green Bay, man, Aaron Rodgers is on fire. But I'll tell you what, if any quarterback can play in that type of environment, that type of cold, that type of hyped up game, it's going to be Tom Brady. Green Bay's D, I think, is okay. I don't think they're as good as Tampa's D, but can Tampa's D stop Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. I mean, They already proved they couldn't once this year, I believe, right? So Green Bay's already beat them once this year. So I don't know. I mean, that'd be fun to watch.
You'd love to see it.
Yeah, I want to see the game. I think Green Bay would still beat them, but I mean, it would never shock me if Brady pulled one out. I mean, this is Brady's time of year, man. He's been to 9 Super Bowls, so I can't, not say that he can't beat Green Bay.
And in all honesty, this is a Super Bowl game you're talking about. Any other year, this matchup is what you'd want to see in the Super Bowl, and you're going to get to see it in the playoffs, which is
not even in the NFC Championship. You know what I mean? I mean, that's going to be a divisional game. That's insane. I mean, wow, that better be the primetime game.
Right. And you'd love to see that game.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Brady up there. You can't count Brady or Rodgers out.
No.
Right? I mean, you'd love to see that game, especially if it was snow and freezing and like when the Giants played Favre up there and everybody's frozen face, everything. I mean, that's what you want to see.
And it's 26-20 and Rodgers has the ball at the 50-yard line with 3 seconds left.
Yeah. Hail Mary, baby.
Let it fly. Oh man.
Packers Bills. Could be, Chief. Could be.
Yeah. Yeah, that would not surprise me.
No, not at all.
But on the other side, I mean, I know you love Tom Brady and I hate Tom Brady, but how awesome would it would it be for Alex Smith to make a little bit of a run in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Did you get to see, I don't know if anybody watching or you guys, did you watch that special on ESPN about his recovery?
No, I want to see it, but I didn't see it yet.
It is incredible.
It is what he went through.
Oh my God. And they show pictures of his leg through that and how much they had to cut off because it was infected and that it kept dying. And I mean, they had a metal rod that went through his shin to hold everything together. And they cut all the way down to that. Like the outside of his calf or his shin was shaved all the way down to the metal. It was incredible. And his leg is just, the recovery that he made it's insane. You have to watch it. If you guys haven't watched it, go find it and watch it because it is insane. And it's
what I'm taking Washington. Change my.
Well, and
if he wins, I mean, hey, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Brady get knocked out. I'm not a fan of Brady either. Sorry. But
stop being
and somebody in the NFC East go a little bit further, sure.
Well, here's the thing too, Alex Smith. It sounds like they're going to be platooning. So right there, the second you hear that, there's a really good chance they're going to be platooning all game. That's a match made in hell from Washington. I mean, it really is. Right. Maybe a healthy Alex Smith and Gibson and McLaurin. Yeah, I mean, they could probably hold their own a little bit, especially with that D. But man, I mean, if they're platooning and you got a beat up wide receiver and running back, forget it.
And it's still 7.5. They're platooning and it's still 7.5. Come on.
Well, Vegas don't want to lose their shirts, man.
Yeah,
they can't put it at 20, and you're right, and risk it.
Yeah. Well,
and I think this game is probably going to be close to that prediction until early fourth quarter. I think Washington will be able to stay close if Gibson and McLaurin are healthy and they're good to go. I think they can stay close. The defense is pretty good. You know that. Chase Young, he's got a lot to prove after running his mouth. So he's got to take it to another level, and he's a player that can take it to another level, definitely. And like Shaney said, blitz like crazy because John, me and you have talked about it for a decade.
Yep.
When Brady gets hit, he gets scared. He gets very timid. He starts throwing the ball away. He starts making bad decisions. He panics, or he just falls down and just waits for somebody to touch him for the sack, which is always my favorite sacks. But I don't know. I mean, I think the team is way too good. I think it's probably going to be a 35-24 final for Tampa. But I think it'll be close.
You're in Washington 24.
I mean, we saw the game last week, right? They shouldn't have won to the Eagles, right? I mean, they couldn't move the ball at all. Now they're going to move the ball on Tampa and score? No way. I think Tampa.
They're going to have to
steamrolls them. Yeah. Well, they had to win last week too, and they did everything they could to lose. So on the offensive side, no chance.
40. I'll say 40. Sorry.
40 what?
40-24. You're right. I was way too close.
You forgot. Yeah, you forgot. I mean, it's great to be sentimental about the guy and root for him, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. I mean, especially if he's platooning, because you got to give him every other play off. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
not going to happen. All right. So
fine. 40-17. That's as low as I'm going.
Okay.
Stop.
Put it in your book.
40-17.
40-0 to
disregard
17.
everything I said. It's not even going to be a close game. It's going to be over at halftime.
Boy, Joe. Give in.
I hate you guys.
Yeah.
I know.
I'd love to see that ice ball though, Brady and Rodgers. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that would be
I would too.
All right. So
off to Sunday.
So I guess we're unanimous then.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right. So yeah, Sunday, beautiful, beautiful Sunday. The red hot Ravens.
The game of the day right here. Game of the day right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
This should be the night game. This should be the night game.
Yes.
It really should. How do you not have these two teams? You got the Browns and Steelers, and I mean, I get it, but man, I just think this is going to be the game of the week.
Yep.
Yeah,
this is probably the game of the weekend. This is probably the game of the weekend.
Yeah,
it's a shame that these two got to play each other right here. I would have liked to seen them play each other later because these are two tough teams, and I think one of these 11-5s are going to be gone this weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, and it's by far the highest over/under on the slate, 54.5. Mm-hmm. The line is 3.5 to Baltimore, which matches Seattle at 3.5. They're equal. Besides that, they've got a pretty comfortable. Everything else is at least double. So.
Oh, so it came down. It was 4.5.
It's 3.5 now for the Ravens.
Okay, so, it came down a point.
But still 54.5. Outside of the Bills Colts are at 51. Nobody else is over 50. Everything else is, 42, 44, 47, 47. So, this is going to be an exciting one. And it's a good way. It's a good way to start Sunday off. But if the other, but then the poor Bears after that. But we'll get into that next. But this Ravens game is going to be something to watch, man, because Lamar is on fire. But this Tennessee team, they shocked everybody last year. Nobody thought they were going to do what they were going to do, and this year they just kind of continued very quietly, winning 11 games. So, you want to say it's the Ravens, but can you comfortably say it's the Ravens that are going to take this one?
So I'm going to say yes. So I think the Ravens do win. So Henry, we've said he's a Mack truck, right? He runs through everything. But then he has games where he runs for nothing, right? He can't get going, whatever the reason is. He's up and down. I know my sister has him on her team, and she'd be yelling and screaming all the weeks that she played probably you, Joe, and he got 3 points. Right?
Yeah, I do appreciate that couple of games there, Derek.
Yeah, you like that, right? So I think that I think it's tough too because Tennessee's the divisional champ, right? They're the leaders in the division. So, but I think if they contain Henry and the way Lamar's playing now, and I know I wasn't high on him earlier in the season, but I think I'm taking the Ravens. Although I would take the points. I don't think it's gonna be. I think it's probably a 3-point game. I think it's a 1 possession, maybe last possession, close game. But I'm taking the Ravens. I think the Ravens win it. Yep.
So when you start looking at these stats, I'll tell you what. So team stats. Tennessee has scored a lot of points this year. I mean, they've scored the fourth most points in the NFL, but they've also given up over 400. So you start looking at that. Baltimore scored 468, but they've only given up like 308 or something like that. So defensive wise, I think, definitely Baltimore has the edge there. But man, Henry, I'll tell you what, Jim, he has 11, 12 games with over 100 yards, 3 or 4 200-yard games. So you're right. They start to even out a little bit.
10 100-plus yard games.
10 of them. It's just insane. And 3 out of the last 4 have been 200?
He might be tired.
No, he had 3 total. One of them came in like week 5. But, 3 over 200, a 178, and 10 total.
No, he's a truck.
His worst statistical game was against Cleveland in, like week 14, 13?
Yeah, when he had 60 yards.
He had 60 yards and no touchdowns. Prior to that, he played Buffalo. He had 57 yards, but he had 2 touchdowns to go with it. So, just money.
and Tannehill's actually had I hate him. You guys know I hate
this
Ryan
is good.
Tannehill.
Let's everybody listen. Everybody listen.
Oh, God. You guys know I hate Ryan Tannehill to no ends. But, I'm going to give a little bit of credit to the guy number-wise. 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, didn't throw for 4,000 yards. But my thing on Tannehill is he can't be the person who wins the game. It has to be Derrick Henry, especially against Baltimore. The Ravens are picking up tons and tons of momentum here the last 4 or 5 weeks. They look good. J.K. Dobbins is really starting to run the ball well. Mark Ingram, I think it's the last you've seen him in Baltimore. And now Lamar's starting to run the ball again and throw the ball. So, it's hard for me to pick this one because I did pick Tampa and Baltimore to go to Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I did. I'm going Baltimore here, but man, it's kind of hard to. I'm going with the momentum, and yes, Cleveland did bury Tennessee that day early, so you're right. So Henry's day was skewed. My thing is Henry getting tired? Are they running him out like they did last year? I don't know. He is a machine, but you could tell last year he kind of. Against Kansas City? You could just tell he was tired last year. So we're not quite there yet, I know. I think Henry's going to have a beast of a day. I think Tannehill's going to make a mistake. It's going to come down to Tannehill having to make a play, and he's not going to make it. I'm going Baltimore, even though I feel like I should take Tennessee. I just hate Ryan Tannehill, so I won't, and I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah. So everything I feel like Jim right now. Everything in my head is saying go with the Titans, and my heart saying the Ravens.
Right, that's kind of how I feel.
I'm very torn, and I'm looking at this, and our boy, Bean Apple favorite, Yannick Ngakoue, he's out.
Very good.
Yeah. He's big on our show.
I thought it was Ngakoue, though. I thought it was Ngakoue.
Yanick.
Ngakoue,
Ngak.
Jay, you were so you were so close.
Ngakoue.
You know what? We're going to give it to you, little fella.
Thank you. What is Yannick Ngakoue?
What is Yannick Ngakoue?
Yeah, so we will accept that. The judges will accept that. But he's out. Jimmy Smith is out. So they lost.
Smith was playing.
He's out now.
Smith and what's his face was coming back this week.
Well, per the ESPN, he is out. Yannick's out. Willie Snead is out.
They're a little banged up there for sure.
So that's going to hurt on the defensive side, and that might equal things out a little bit for Tannehill over there.
I hate him.
I don't know. This is tough, man. But even AJ Brown, another quiet, 70 catches, 175 yards, 11 touchdowns. Who talked about AJ Brown this year? I know he was drafted relatively high and people knew who he was, but I haven't heard any AJ Brown conversations about great receiving years. So I'm gonna go with my head, and I'm gonna pick the Titans. They did it inexplicably last year, and they beat the Ravens last year in the playoffs. So I think they could do it again. I'm
curious what all the listeners think too. If you guys can throw out there what.
They're not sure. Nobody's put anything.
Who do you think is going to win this game? Because to me, this is the game of the week. To me, it's the hardest one to pick by far.
Oh yeah.
Just curious to see what you guys think out there.
So I'm thinking, I think this is going to be a 30-27 game.
Yeah, there you go. I said 3 points, right? I think it's a close 3-point game. Titans. Titans are at home and they're the champs, right? And yet they're dogs, right?
Yep.
They're getting the points, so it is. But I think I put Lamar up against Tannehill. I'm taking Lamar. 35-27 Tennessee. So Titans. Wow, everybody's taking Titans here.
I like that score too. That's gonna be an exciting game. It is.
We got some smart listeners. So I might be crazy sometimes, but sometimes, guys, we line up. The stars align, and
yes.
All right, so we're going Titans, Ravens.
Ravens. Yes, Ravens win. They're on a roll. Should be a close game. I agree with that.
One mistake.
Down to one mistake.
Yeah,
one mistake by Tannehill. Probably. That's what I think.
Exactly. That's what I think too. It's gonna come down to Tannehill. Henry's gonna rush for his 200. Tannehill's gonna blow it at the end, and I'm gonna say once again, a Big 12 quarterback sucks.
And we go to New Orleans.
I don't know. Has Vrabel sold his testicles yet for a Super Bowl? Wasn't he saying that
yet.
last year?
I think that's next year.
No buyers. No buyers on the black market.
Yeah, he's too old, man. They don't work anymore.
Yeah, that was
nobody wants old balls.
No. Well, no. The girl from Big Daddy does.
Thank you. There we go. Somebody gets my movie quote. I was waiting for Shaney to chime in.
Oh, I got you. All right. So yeah, next game, the most unappealing game of the week.
How did this even happen?
Can we say that? I don't know.
Chicago's in at 8-8, and Miami
Arizona lost. That's how it happened.
Yeah, I wish Kyler Murray was healthy, because they would have beat the Rams last week, but he tried to go in a couple times and he just could not play. So really, really sucks, because I would have liked to see that offense. I would have loved to see a healthy Arizona offense against a healthy Saints offense and watch that game go, because that would have been such an awesome match. Just throw right in the middle of this. Oh, that would have been such an awesome Sunday with that. But but the Bears defense is still great. Trubisky's been playing like they hoped he would when they drafted him, and didn't pick up his. Maybe he did that on purpose so they wouldn't pick up his 5th-year option and he could get the fuck out of Chicago.
Could be.
I don't know. Think about that one for a second, Chicago fans. But Drew Brees, I mean, the Saints haven't looked phenomenal.
They won last week with nobody. What do you mean?
And they scored like 38 points or something like that.
Go back.
His name is Kylie Murray. Another Big 12 stiff, another OU stiff.
Yeah. But so yes, they beat the Vikings. They beat the crap out of the Vikings 52-33. They beat the Panthers 33-7, but they lost to the Chiefs. They scored 29. The Eagles they lost to. They scored 21. They beat the Falcons. They only scored 21. So they've had a stretch there where they lost, two out of the last 5 games, and I think they're coming back up, but. I mean,
even when they lost, they scored 21. Are the Bears scoring 21 on the Saints?
I don't think
so.
Chance.
No chance.
I don't think so.
No chance. 8.5 point.
This is going to be the best defense they've seen since they played the Bucs. I'm thinking which was week 8.
And really, the Saints defense isn't the greatest, right? I mean, they take a lot of chances. Right, the Jenkins brothers back there, right, Janoris and Malcolm, jump routes and they're always trying for the pick 6 and whatever, but they get beat too. I mean, what happened in the in a Vikings game a couple of years ago with Diggs, right?
Yes,
yeah,
right.
True.
They get snake bit at times. I mean, a couple of years in a row they had bad penalties that kept them out, or not bad penalties, but unfortunate plays that kept them out of winning. Kept them from winning. So
is that what's going to happen? Is Allen Robinson's going to have a game-winning 70-yard touchdown?
Yeah. What's that guy's name? No. McCardle? No. Cordell Patterson? Yeah.
Cordell Patterson.
Patterson? Yeah. But they have score. I mean, last week they didn't against the Packers, but they beat the Jaguars 41.
Oh, they beat the Jags?
The Vikings, they scored 33. The Texans, they scored 36. Lions, they scored 30, but they lost somehow. So, I mean, they can score some points.
No.
So there's no way Drew Brees' career is probably going to end this year losing to the Bears.
No way.
It's not. He's not going out losing to Chicago. It's not happening. He may lose to like Green Bay or Tampa or something in the next couple of weeks, but there's no way in hell they are losing to Chicago. No. I mean, they looked awful.
Are they going to have Michael Thomas back? Because I know they were trying to get him off IR, but
they don't even need him. They don't even need him. Kamara's going to run like crazy. He's going to run beast mode, and it's I don't know. I mean, Jared Cook, look for a big game from Jared Cook if you're playing any DraftKings or something. I took him last week and he went nuts for me, so I was pretty happy. So I think you'll see a lot of Jared Cook too. I mean, you still got Emmanuel Sanders back there. Those guys are producing. They're still scoring. And I'm sorry, it's Drew Brees. He's going to make good throws. Trubisky, I mean, they're 8-8 for a reason. They're 8-8 for a reason. So
yeah,
41-20. All right, Shaney, I'm going to go with you on that score. I'll say 41-21. He makes the extra point. They don't cover by 3 touchdowns. Exactly. It'll be 38-20, Shane, if Kamara doesn't play.
Right. He's practicing remotely now, but
right.
He's got to come back. And Tamsin is questionable too. I didn't see what it was, but they need him too. But I think Brees is another one of those guys. He's a winner and he finds a way to win. And there's no way I see Trubisky and the Bears beating them. I don't care if Hicks and Mack are on the other side of the line. They're going to find a way to do it. They do. Yeah, they will. I mean, Sean Payton, the coach, will find a way. They're planning all night long. They're going to figure it out. They're playing at home. They're going to win it. No doubt. Not even close. Not even close. Just like Shane's saying, couple scores easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So here's the thing.
Here we go.
I love it. I love it. You better be picking like this in our pick'em too, by the way. All right.
Right.
Don't come out when the Saints win and you go undefeated and you pick Chicago and Tennessee. Exactly, Chief. I don't either.
No, I'm not crazy. So, no, the Saints. I can't see how the Bears can win this game. To give the Bears credit, though, we said they were going to be awful, right? When we started this season, right, we were like looking for a game that they were going to win and trying to find a game that they were going to win. And they ended up rattling off 5 out of their first 6. So, and then they went on an incredible losing streak like we thought they should have, and then finished out 3 wins out of their last 4 games. So, streaky team, but they won a lot of games that we didn't think they were supposed to win, including beating the Bucs. Did not see that one coming,
Nope.
And somehow they beat the Jaguars in Jacksonville. I mean,
you
kidding me?
You kidding me? If you want to crown them, crown them.
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
So, just insane. But yeah, this Bears team is not. They're not going to be able to keep up with the Saints. This is a game that usually Tom Brady would get as well, but they gave him Washington instead so that he would be safe to get to the next round.
Yeah, that's right. We got to get him in. Right?
Yeah, so you got to get Brees and Brady to the next round. John's giving me that. You're absolutely right, but I don't want to admit it. Look.
Yeah, he knows. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, he's been a fan long enough. So yeah, I think this is, man. I don't even want to predict a score, but it should be comfortably in hand. I don't think it's going to be a massive blowout because I think there's a chance that you could see starters coming out of this game. So I think it could end up being like I'll say like a 33-14 game.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago's wide receivers are banged up too, right? Yeah. Mooney and Allen Robinson, both questionable, right? So if you don't have those guys, if they're not 100%, what are you going to do? What's Trubisky going to run every play? Come on.
No, he can run, but you can't keep doing it. You'll die.
No way.
Ask RG3. He's like he's my de facto like running quarterback
Yeah.
Like, that I just love to pick on. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but I just use and abuse him on this show. So let's finish out with the premier game. I'm sure there's a couple of Steelers fans and maybe one Browns fan that will check this out. But your boy Baker Mayfield going into Pittsburgh to take on a well-rested Steelers team. How did the Browns win this game? 6-point underdogs going into Pittsburgh.
So Mason Rudolph toasted them last week. Really did. I mean, they only ran for like, I want to say Pittsburgh ran for under 100 yards. Rudolph threw for like, over 300, a couple touchdowns. I mean, Mayfield didn't do anything special, but then the Nick Chubb factor came out. So there's no way. I mean, they barely beat Pittsburgh last week, and that was because Pittsburgh didn't hit the 2-point conversion. So there's just no way. Cleveland's not going to win. I mean, the head coach isn't even going to be there. I mean, I'm going to give the head coach credit. What is it, Stefanski? Is that his name? He's kind of held this Cleveland team together through the OBJ this year when that kind of dilemma was going on. Do they get rid of him? Do they don't? He ended up going out for the year, which is probably best for Cleveland. He's kind of the glue for this team. He really is. He's going to, he can keep that defense in check. He can keep people from throwing helmets and doing all that crazy shit. So I think without him, probably a lot of penalties. I think it's going to be an ugly game. Probably a lot of offsides by Cleveland, a lot of pass interference. And I mean, I think they're going to load the box and make Mayfield beat them because they know Chubb and Hunt can beat them. So what are they going to do? They're going to take away their running game. Watt's going to be playing this week. You're going to get everybody back. So 38-28. I don't know if it'd be that high, but I'd probably say like a 31-23 type game. I mean, somewhat close, but really not that close.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pittsburgh, Ben gets the week off. He comes back. Watt's back. Cleveland had a couple of COVID things this week, not practicing, facilities closed, blah, blah, blah. But like you said, against nobody last week, it was a tight game. And, good for them going 11-5 this year, right? 11-5. I don't know how many people saw that, but that's where it ends. This is it. This is their final game for the season in Pittsburgh, even though there's no fans there. They were hoping to have some fans in Pittsburgh. But, Pittsburgh covers 3.5. It's actually I'm a little surprised it's that low. I thought maybe it would have been 5 or so. But, I think Pittsburgh covers the spread, too. Pittsburgh wins at home.
Interesting.
Oh, here we go.
It's a good thing I'm on this show because this would be the worst show on YouTube. So we gotta amp this rivalry up. The Steelers are overrated. They are absolutely overrated, and everybody gets caught up in the Steelers hype. You look at even when they were on their winning streak, they barely won games. They barely won games. How many games? I mean, you look at that. You go take a look at their schedule. I mean, they barely won games. Then they lost to Washington, the Bills. They lost to the Bengals. They had to do a remarkable comeback against the Colts to win that game, 28-24. And then, obviously, yes, you don't have Big Ben in the game, and you lose to the Browns 24-22. But a lot of games early on. The Titans, they won by 3. The Ravens, they won by 4. They barely beat the Cowboys, if you remember that game, when the Cowboys almost won that one, 24-19. A lot of really close games that they won by a touchdown or less. So, the Giants, they won by 10 in that game. Broncos, they won by 5 points. So a lot of very close games that could have very easily went the other way. And now you're looking at an 8-8 team. In reality, if half of those games go the other way, you take 4 wins off the board, 3 wins off the board. Now they're not even in the playoffs, right? So the 10-win Dolphins didn't make the playoffs. So This is a team that I think is extremely overhyped. I really do, and it showed at the end of the year. Yes, they're rested, but Juju's not practicing with a knee injury. I don't know if he's going to play. Chase Claypool is awesome. He's awesome. I have no doubt he'll step up. I have no doubt that Washington will step up.
Don't forget Johnson. I think Johnson will have a big game too.
And Deontay Johnson will step up as well, yes. But their running game sucks. Absolutely sucks. The Browns' defensive line is pretty good. I mean, you've got some good players there. The Browns' defense is okay. And like Cheney said, if you could suffocate Ben, you could take him out of that game. And that defensive line can do it. I don't know. I mean, this is a Steelers team that they could score points, but it's also a Steelers team that gives up a lot of points. So the Browns are the same way. We've seen the Browns put up amazing games. Think back to that Ravens game, that absolute shootout that they had all the way to the end. That was an incredible game to watch. But that was against a Ravens defense that we just got done saying is pretty good, and that the Titans wouldn't be able to beat. So Baker Mayfield was shredding them. So. But then again, he couldn't shred the Jets. So these are two teams that I think are. I don't know how you could be comfortable saying one way or the other that one of them's going to take it, because they're just both so up and down. But I'm going to say that the Browns get their first playoff win in, I don't know, 97 years. And I think it's going to be.
With you?
I think it's going to be.
Wow.
It's going to be a 27-24 game. It's going to be tight. It's going to be close, and I think they're going to win it. Nick Chubb is going to run all over them, and Baker's going to do enough to win.
Oh my goodness! I want this show to keep going now. So you think Cleveland's going to be able to beat a team? So they beat Tennessee, who you said is going to beat Baltimore, because you said Tennessee was tough. Mm-hmm. So they beat Baltimore twice. When the hell does that happen? It doesn't. They beat Indy. You said they had to come back and win. Indy, we were talking about earlier, is going to put up a game against Buffalo. We think they are. Mm-hmm. And they beat Cleveland when they actually had a full team. And then they lost to them when half their team was sitting by 2 points. Who is Baker Mayfield throwing the ball to? Higgins? Not happening. I mean, it's just I don't see it. I think Cleveland is absolutely terrible. I mean, not terrible. I mean, they won friggin' I get
11 games.
11 games.
They won 11 games, but you better hope Chubb runs. They have to run for over 200 yards to beat Pittsburgh. If they run for over 200, I'll tell you what, they have a chance to beat Pittsburgh. But I don't tell me
Chubb and Hunt can't do that.
I'm not saying they can't, but if Pittsburgh loads the box and makes Mayfield beat them, they're not running for 200 yards. That D is way too good. And everybody laughed at me when I said Pittsburgh's going to go crazy this year. Now they've won, 12 games, whatever their record is now, and they're still not getting any love. And I get it, but they've beaten 4 of the 5 other teams that are playing this week. They beat almost everybody that's playing this week in the AFC except for Buffalo. They lost to Buffalo. Everybody. So that's how I'm looking at it. I'm going Pittsburgh 28-17. Ken, I like that. I kind of like that score right there.
It works.
But I'm going to
don't convince Joe anymore. You're going to make him switch. He's thinking about it. Look,
he is.
He's considering changing his play.
Well, I mean,
I'm holding firm.
Every AFC team in the playoffs except for Buffalo, and one of them twice. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm going. Sorry, Joe, this wouldn't be a show unless we proved to you that you were wrong.
So make sure we check the Pro Football Pick'em. He better have Cleveland checked off in the box. Right?
Yeah.
I got to see what I did. So, so with that, guys, please join up with us in that. Go to the Bean Apple page. I screenshot exactly where you need to go in the app. And right below that post is the league ID and password to get in. So get in, play against us. It's a pretty fun format, looks like, especially with confidence points that you have to put towards towards each game to really separate out the winners and losers. So I think that's going to be really fun. So please jump on there. And again, hit that subscribe button. Thank you to Tyler Drake, subscriber number 50. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it is to us.
Thank you.
So thank you. It's a small step, but
baby steps.
It's a step nonetheless in the right direction. So we are continuing to grow with your guys' help, and I know we all thank you very much for that. If you're watching live, if you're watching after, please subscribe and help us keep getting up. Help us hit 100. That's our next goal, and then we'll tackle the next one from there. But again, like every week, we can't do that without you guys. So please do that. And quickly, so we were talking about this yesterday in text about Deshaun Watson to the Jets, right? So I just got a news update 13 minutes ago that Deshaun Watson is upset with the GM hiring process, with them just hiring the Patriots. I don't know what he was, an executive, personnel executive or something like that in the organization. So they went ahead and hired him. The Texans did not inform Deshaun Watson they were hiring Nick Caserio, nor did they consider his preferred candidates. Interesting.
Wow. And I don't think they checked in with him when they were trading DeAndre either.
They did not. No.
I mean, so there's no love there between management and their quarterback for sure.
So we were talking about that. What if he does demand a trade now? What if he says, like, this is not an organization I want to be with? Get me out of here. You guys obviously don't value my thoughts or my inputs. You're trading away my best weapons. You're hiring management that, doesn't see eye to eye with. Yeah. So what do you think?
When was the last time an owner or a team needed a quarterback's permission to hire a GM? I think this is a smoke show, and he has no weapons. He killed it, but he just signed an extension with them. So what, was he happy with the current coaching staff and management then? I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, he had DeAndre Hopkins back then, so that makes
but
life a little bit better.
No, but O'Brien traded it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
O'Brien traded him, and then he still signed an extension this year. He signed it this year, so it's not like he didn't know Hopkins was already. Yes, that's why I was floored. Remember when they traded him? I said, "Man, I hope the Patriots can jump all over this because he's going to be pissed." And then he goes and signs that whatever it was, $180 million, whatever, a lot of money, rightfully so. But now he's going to come out and say he wants to trade because of the GM. Come on, man, that's a damn smoke show. He wants out of Houston. He wanted to find an excuse.
Yeah, he's pulling a Jamal Adams.
Oh my God, yes.
He's just starting to poke. Now he's going to start poking the bear until the bear gets pissed off, ships him off to the Jets for a couple first-round picks, and now we don't have to worry about a quarterback problem.
He's not going to New York. He's coming to New England. I said this last year. I said this last year. Okay. I said at the beginning of the season, I want Watson in a Patriots uniform. I still want him. But let him pull that shit with, exactly. I mean, it's been forever. No, he doesn't, Shane. He doesn't have electricity. I don't know. But I don't know. To me, it's a smoke screen. But hey, if this does force him up, maybe Casero's like, I don't want you either. I'm going to rebuild. I mean, they got
nothing.
What pick they got?
They don't. They don't have a first or a second.
That's right. Miami
because they make great organizational decisions.
GM was awful, and now they got a guy from the Patriots.
Right. How could you be upset when you're overhauling an absolute disaster within that organization? I mean, you look at what they did. I mean, I feel bad for him, but at the same time, like you said, why would you sign that extension knowing you don't have a first or second pick this year? You lost one of the best wide receivers in football. Right. You're going through a major overhaul. Now, now you've got the issues as well with Will Fuller, with Will Fuller being suspended, it's only one game next year, but you're still going to have that to worry about.
He's a free agent too, so.
Oh, he is a free. Yep. So you lose him. You lose Hopkins. Now you've got.
Just break it all down. Chop it up.
Brandon Cooks.
Kiki Cutie and Cooks. That's what you've gone to. You had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller, and you let that go for Brandon Cooks and Kiki Cutie. And David
But yet he
Johnson.
signed afterwards. That's the part I don't get. He signed after they traded Hopkins. I don't get
that doesn't make sense.
Something made smelling right in Mudville.
No. And I wouldn't be surprised if JJ Watt's out of there soon too.
Yeah.
Well, he's 60, so he should retire.
Yeah. But he's fed up with that whole thing. And man,
Yeah.
you want to talk about a player that does it right and somebody you want in the locker room. It's JJ Watt, but
Agreed. But I mean, his time is
that whole team. I don't know who advises Deshaun Watson. That's a lot of money, but he would have gotten it from any team. You could have rode that out and said, best of luck to this organization, but you've got 6 or 7 years before they're out of this hole, especially losing these picks, and now you're losing free agents and everything. It's
you only have so much money. That's why New England's done well with their team over the years. They've gotten lucky in the draft. They really have. They struck it. They struck gold in the draft for a lot of years. And Joe, you said it perfectly. A month ago? Now they're not striking gold. So now what's happening? They're struggling because they're having to pay. You can't keep paying everybody money and still have a good team and fail in the draft. You just can't.
Right. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't think maybe this might be Bill's plan right here. Okay, go down there, be the GM, Caserio, go be the GM, and then when you get down there, trade me Deshaun Watson, and
Watson Gate 2021.
Yes. And then he'll get fired instantly, and he'll go right back to New England, and boom, problem solved. You guys are set again.
Exactly, Shane. Exactly.
Bill.
Yeah, he could have went anywhere. Anywhere, Peace.
Yeah, and he would have made a ton. He would have
gotten the same, if not more.
Yeah. Even if they franchised him for a year.
Yeah, he's going to get
whatever.
What, $38 million?
Yeah, he would have made out, and then he would have went to a team that was built around what he was wanting. He could have went to a team and gotten weapons, and he could have signed with the Colts or 49ers. Yeah, can you imagine him?
Maybe he will. Can you picture him on San Francisco?
No,
that'd be gross. That'd be gross. That'd be
Deebo Samuel and Ayuk and
George Kittle and that running game. I mean, I agree, Shane.
Yeah,
we don't use them right. You're right. We don't use them right. So
that's what that Jets the Jets article I saw outside of the conversation that we had. I saw an article about it too, where they were saying Sam Darnold, the Jets' second pick and Seattle's first rounder, and next year's second
for who
to get Watson. That was what we were talking about. So 2 firsts this year, Sam Darnold, and a second round next year.
Jesus, why wouldn't you take that? I mean, you
pick
two.
Load up your picks, get a chance to move the guy that's not happy, and load up your. I think that's.
Who? God, wow.
Right.
Wow. Yeah,
but it's not an unfair trade either.
No, it's not. But then how do the Jets build? They get 27 people on a 1-year contract this year. So now how are they going to build? You know what I mean? So now you mortgage the future for Deshaun Watson? I say yes. I would. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
You can get creative, and they've got enough money.
Yeah.
They've definitely got the money to do it. But
look what he's done this year with I don't even know who. I mean, those receivers. Here, let's take a look at Deshaun Watson's numbers this year because they are off the charts. 4,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He didn't run for a whole lot, but because he doesn't have to.
Yeah. Well, 444 yards is still.
Did he?
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trailing
and 3
David
more
Johnson.
touchdowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so almost 5,000 yards with nothing.
Yeah, he had 5,000 yards with nothing, and yes. I mean, wow.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him on New England. I said it last year. Trade 2 number ones,
and in reality, if the Jets draft a quarterback with the second pick anyway, then you're really only giving up 1 pick. Well, you're just giving away the Seahawks pick for Jamal Adams you're trading Jamal Adams for Deshaun Jackson at that point. Because you would have spent the second pick on a quarterback anyway. So
That's why I think for a haul for him, I almost think you'd have to throw in another number one, because you're right. That number 3 pick or that number 2 pick for Watson, that's a wash, right? So you get in the Seattle pick. I mean,
but
you give up your second round pick though too. I mean, that's another high pick. I mean, you have to be careful too.
I think that's a little too rich.
I think
in
that's
one
getting
year.
a little bit too much. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It would be a conversation because quarter.
There you go.
Yeah, there's the fix. So Bill O'Brien's gone though. So
I hope so.
They would probably trade Watson to the Patriots for Cam Newton, even though he's a free agent.
Straight up.
Like, we'll trade you for Cam. Yeah, sure. Here you go. Oh yeah. Well, but Cam doesn't belong to us anymore. But thank you.
They're gonna throw in Brian Hoyer, a turkey baster, a case of Sam's Summer, and maybe some footballs.
A heady topper.
A heady topper.
Oh, what?
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Yes, sir. I would trade Cam for a 4-pack of heady topper right now. just a 4-pack. I don't even need a whole case. It's
Four's
so
good enough.
Yeah. Oh, it's delightful. So
Right.
it's fun. But I definitely, so one of the things I really want to get into when the playoffs is over is breaking down each of our teams and, kind of where we're going from that. And I was reading an article about the Patriots earlier this week, and I thought the Jets free agent pool was big, or who were losing. But man, I can't wait to get into the Patriots because you guys have got some big decisions to make on, and there's some big names that are on the cusp of walking away.
Oh,
So
they
that's
will.
gonna be,
They will. Yeah,
that's going to be interesting because if you're a Patriots player and you know that dynasty's over, that lure to come back for a lower price tag is not there anymore. So I'm really interested to see. I'm excited to break down each of our teams and kind of see where they're going when the playoffs are over. But with that, we should definitely call this show a pot of chowder.
There you go, Carlos. Pot of chowder.
There you go. How can you say no to that?
So a pot of chowder and a 4-pack of heady topper. Bye-bye,
Man.
Cam. Bye-bye.
Sounds like a good Saturday right there, boy.
It does. All right. So we'll see. Please jump on the Yahoo app and join up with us and play against us in the Pick'em. And if you're watching this, please subscribe. Please. When this show's over, I'm hoping to see us somewhere around 65 subscribers. So I know we can do that. It's just 15 people. So as you're watching, just click that subscribe button and help us grow, because this is the best rivalry sports show on YouTube, without a doubt. We don't focus on one. We're all over the place. New York, Boston, head to head. This is what we do. So,
Tell your spouse, tell your kids, whoever's got YouTube sign on, click the button.
Yes.
Yep.
Hi. Tell your kids, tell your wife.
That's the clip you need, right?
I should. Yeah. Tell your kids, tell your wife.
Thanks, brother.
Anyway,
Yep.
all right, guys. So
Thank you.
thank
Yep.
you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. And until we do the recap, best of luck this week for your teams if you're watching. And you guys are going down. I'm taking the top spot.
We'll see.
All right. So for John, for Jim, I'm Joe. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.